going. I don't know how long I'm supposed to be making. This is all new, so over time it'll get better. My content will get better. My lighting will get better. Everything will get better. But I definitely wanted to just go ahead and not put it off and just talk a little bit more. I today what I'm going to talk about is um, some of the signs. Some of the signs, like I always knew I was different. When I was a child, I grew up in Philly and Southwest Philly, and I was kind of back and forth between Southwest Philly and the suburbs of DC, out in Montgomery County, Maryland. And growing up, I always felt a little bit different. Like all of my heroes and role models were always females. The women in my family are so strong and so beautiful, from my aunts and my mom and my grandmom, my sister, my cousins, my female cousins, that I always had a special connection to them, and I was always drawn to them. Even some of my favorite celebrities I seen on TV growing up, like Mariah Carey and Brandy and Monica and Tisha Campbell. It was like everybody who I was drawn to in the 90s as I was growing up was a female, you know what I mean? And it showed in my ways and stuff like that. And a lot of people all called me gay and stuff like that before I even had a chance to experience anything. And that wasn't even on my mind because I was more feminine than the average person or the average boy would be. And that kind of stuck with me through my life. And as I, kind of whatever. And once again, I just remember the love and admiration that I had for women. I literally thought that women were better than men and smarter than men. And that's just how I felt. And that's what I saw from the people that I knew and from the people that I was seeing. So when I did get old enough to make those changes and start doing things, I started experimenting and playing around in girls' clothing. And it started off with tight jeans at first, and it kind of just went from there and progressed. Like I said, I don't have many regrets in my life, because even though I did transition and I'm no longer living that life, it took me to a different place. Like as a younger boy, I felt I had low self-esteem. I didn't really like myself, and I didn't know how to express myself, and I wasn't truly comfortable. Transitioning made me find a voice and find a place, and I found a community and in a ballroom scene where I fit in, and I became this voguing legend, and I just had so much personality. I was so shy as a boy, and then when I transitioned, I was just this outspoken, funny, fierce, powerful person that traveled the country and did so much that I would have never imagined. So it all just helped build me into the person that I am today, which is one of the reasons why I have no regrets at all. But it's a different day and age. So right now, if I'm talking to the young person right now, or no matter what age you are, that might be having some regrets and feeling a certain type of way, there are signs. Like for me, I never wanted to go all the way. Like I never wanted to go all the way, and at times I often felt like I could be more outrageous and bold. Like maybe I should have stayed in the drag queen mark, because there is a difference. And that's what I could say is so many trans women that I know had a whole different mindset than I had. So that was one of the signs. My you know what I mean? I had a lot of different signs that hit me, but I ignored all the signs, just rushing and just feeling like I had to do this right now, and I have to do this right now. I have to do this right now. Don't rush anything. There are certain things and procedures that you're supposed to take, like psychiatric evaluations, and you're supposed to talk to a psychiatrist and a therapist, and you're supposed to live your life before you take any hormones and do any kind of surgeries or anything like that. You're supposed to make sure that mentally you're right. You also are supposed to take that time and live your life for a year in that body before you do anything to you. All the hormones and surgeries and all that, it doesn't make you feel like how you're going to feel if you don't feel that way already on the inside. So when I looked up to all these people like Sanaya and Mercedes and people that were in the ballroom scene, if you don't know, you can look them up. And different trans women that you may see, you may look up to a Maya Scott or Sydney Star, Trace, or whoever it is that you may look up to. Just know that because you see them with the surgeries, they were already comfortable as themselves. So the surgeries just added on. It didn't make it. So if you can't live your life the way that you are first, before you start the enhancements and before you start the hormone therapy and different things like that, maybe this isn't for you too. You know what I mean? Because those are extra amenities that are added into the situation. You know what I'm saying? So the signs, you'll have the signs. And like I'm gonna say this in all of my videos, it's okay. Too many times you hear about these popular trans women, and then next thing you know, you don't never ever hear from them again, and some of them end up dead, some are just hiding. And I chose that would not be me. If I had enough guts and balls to transition in the first place, which is more outrageous, than actually detransition. Transitioning is a bigger thing. You know what I mean? And so why be afraid? Why be afraid of who you are? I'm sorry, a text message was coming through, and you know what I mean. So if you're feeling like you're stuck, you can message me. Message me. Let's talk about it. Let's form some kind of group. Let's get this thing popping. I just if you know somebody that may be going through this situation, don't laugh, don't joke. Even if you are gay or trans yourself, realize that this overpopulation of trans people is a part of the reason why we're going through different things in this era right now, like how you guys had to deal with the bathroom situation and people not wanting trans women in the bathroom with regular women. Well, before it was an overpopulation of trans people, and just the real trans people, not the people who thought it was a fad or wanted to join because they were just interested in the lifestyle and obsessed and infatuated with it. Trans women didn't have these problems. Most trans women that I know don't even want to be called trans women. They just want to be women, and they have the mind of a woman. They move like a woman. So even if they weren't the most passable person, you know what I mean, the way that they carry themselves, nobody is going to know when they are going into the bathroom. But now today, anybody feel like they can get the title trans, and some of these people are going to have regrets. It's sad to say, I don't wish it on nobody because it's a lonely experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember so many nights and so many days of not wanting to go outside, not wanting to, because I did have surgeries and enhancements, and when I didn't feel like, getting myself together enough to get on the train or to be out in public, and I might let some facial hair grow in, and I didn't feel like nearing it or whatever the case may be, or I didn't feel like applying my makeup or doing my hair when I was in the process, because it's an expensive process. Nowadays they do have more resources for you, but before I could even make the change to go back, I had to make the money and set up ways for me to survive while I was doing what I had to do. It was twice as expensive to detransition as it was for me to transition initially, which is really messed up to me. You know what I mean? But on a positive note, I'm so much more happier. I'm here. I'm talking to you. You're listening to me. You're feeling my story. I know that there's so many people who need to hear this. Please support, share, like, subscribe. I'm going to keep it going, and I'm here for you. So whatever questions that you have, you can message me, reach out to me, whatever. I'm here for you because there was nobody there to tell me about this. One thing I'll touch on is like silicone injection. I don't know how big that is still now, but there's so many people who died from that. That was something that I had to go through, and I went through. That's the only regret that I have out of my whole transition, is that I went to somebody's basement and let them pump silicone into my body, or a substance that whatever was supposed to be silicone in my body, to give me a curvier, more feminine shape to impress people. And it just messed up my head that I did that when I'm so health conscious. Like, I don't even like taking medicine, but I was so deep into my transition that I risked it all, and I got this done. You know what I mean? And then I had to get it removed, and now I have 2 scars. But these scars are my beauty marks. These scars show my story. These scars show how strong I am, how resilient I am. And you are the same way. If this is you and you've gone through this, I'm there for you. We could team up, we could take over. It's it's a space for everybody. I'm proud of my story. I'll tell anybody, if you can't respect me or accept me